Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you all are doing good. So for today we are just going to do classification of anemia, which is very simple. So first of all, let's see the definition. That is, anemia is defined as reduction in oxygen transporting capacity of blood, resulting from a decrease in red cell mass to subnormal values. So today we are going to classify anemia according to the underlying process or pathophysiology. So first of all, let's see how anemia can occur. What do you think? List some causes or some processes that you think can cause anemia. So first of all, it can be either that red blood cells are produced in less quantity, right? So impaired production, or it can be that they are produced normally but somehow they are destroyed. So it can be increased destruction, or that is also called hemolytic anemia, or it can be like they are produced normally and they're also not destroyed, but somehow the blood is lost, so the absolute number of red blood cells are decreased, so that will be blood loss, or what we read in our classes, that is post hemorrhagic anemia. So obviously let's start with the blood loss. So blood loss can be acute, or for example in trauma, or it can be chronic. Chronic, the most common example is gastrointestinal disturbances like an ulcer. And so next we have impaired production due to some kind of deficiencies, like iron deficiency that leads to decreased amount of hemoglobin, or B9 B12 deficiency that will cause less division of red blood cells, or just aplastic anemia in which you'll see pancytopenia. And then we have or pure red cell aplasia or other factors that will just decrease the production of RBCs. And then let's discuss a little detail about hemolytic anemia. So hemolytic anemia can be hereditary or acquired, and for hereditary you can see red blood cells. What thing can lead to its hemolysis? It can be due to improper structure. For example, it can be like membrane defects like hereditary spherocytosis or elliptocytosis. Next, it could be some enzyme deficiency like G6PD or pyruvate kinase or other enzymes, or it can be due to defective hemoglobin synthesis. So, the perfect example, that is sickle cell anemia or thalassemia. So, all these are the conditions of hereditary hemolytic anemia. Acquired causes can be like autoimmune, like due to antibodies produced against the RBCs, or it can be drug induced, or trauma, or infection. So, this is like the basic classification of hemolytic anemia, but there's also another classification of hemolytic anemia, and this is the classification given by the Robbins pathology, and it has kind of divided it into the causes which are intracorpuscular or intrinsic causes, so like within the RBCs, some defect or something, or some extra corpuscular abnormalities or extrinsic causes that can lead to hemolysis of RBCs. So intracorpuscular, you can see it's just the same like previous slide, hereditary and acquired. So hereditary, all the causes that we have mentioned in the previous slide, and just acquired one, that is paroxysmal nocturnal hemoglobinuria. And the extracorpuscular abnormalities, it can be antibody mediated. These antibodies can be autoimmune, or it can be due to transfusion reaction, or like drug induced. And the trauma, you see, trauma can be microangiopathic hemolytic anemia, or it can be due to defective cardiac valves that can distort the shape of RBC, and then it can be destroyed in the spleen, or it can be due to infections like malaria. So I think this is the classifying anemia according to the underlying pathology or underlying processes is a more easy way of understanding anemia, especially when you are starting to learn about anemia. So this is also another way of classifying anemia according to its morphology. You can say it is according to the size, or basically the mean corpuscular volume. It can be microcytic, normocytic, or macrocytic. So obviously it's my advice that if you are starting to just learn about anemia, better to learn the classification according to the process, because it's more easy. And then when you learn about the specific anemias, then in the end you can also learn this classification. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned because I'll be explaining about each and every anemia. Thank you.